Hey, welcome back. So yeah, I tested. The audio is okay. I feel good. I feel good with how it's working now. And this is as good as it can get. My audio and my video. The video is a little bit janky this week. I don't know why. But you can still hear me, so that's fine. But I'd have to, for my budget, this is as good as it can get. Unless for it to get better, I'd probably have to buy, like, better computer, better, like, editing software. That's not just, like, a free software where you can actually edit stuff better. And then it would be, like, amazing, but I don't care about that. I care a little bit, but... yeah, it's all good. I'm happy. I'm happier than I was about it last week. I felt like it wasn't good, but this week is better. But you don't care about that. You care about the dates. Well, I just wanted to finish that point from yesterday about romantic. What was my note about being romantic? Virginia told me the date didn't think it would go anywhere romantically. How do I do that? It's easier when you're younger, I think, when the hormones are turned to 11, which is why people get divorced, because it dies when you get older, so it's harder. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a separate point, but it's still, I think it's a good thing to think about, like, when you're younger, it is probably easier to feel attraction to people because your hormones are just like, I don't know why it's like that, but it is just like, well, when you're younger, you just feel everything more. And then when you hit puberty, like, you feel attraction for the first time, and then it's just like, boom. So, like, you just like everybody. And then if you get married when you're 18, and then you're 30, and you're like, oh, I don't love you anymore. That's because I guess you didn't really love them in the first place. I shouldn't say that, but if I guess I did, part of me did think, like, well, the first person I meet, I'm gonna really like them because, like, I never did this before. But I've met 5 people so far, and I haven't really been like, I mean, they've talked to me, they've looked at me, and they've had conversations, they've smiled, and I still was like, I don't think this is the right person. But if I was like 18 and if anybody did that to me, if a tree did that to me, I would be like, I love you. That's just how it works. It's just an age thing. It doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of experience like me. You just, when you're older, you die. You're dying, and you don't feel things anymore. But that's good, because it means anything that I find will last. But potentially, that's how it should work. If I'm able to connect with somebody, it'll be deeper than just like, if I was a kid. When you're a kid, you're stupid. I don't know. So that was the point. So that's kind of the hopeful way to look at it, is like, well, it's harder, but it'll be better. But then there's also like, well, what if it never happens? Am I like, what the It's Just Lunch person asked me, I remember yesterday, she's like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is it for you to have a partner, for your, like, to marry somebody or to be with somebody? And I was like, it depends. Like short term, 5 years. If I don't meet anybody, like a five. But like long term, it's a 10. I have to meet somebody. I can't. I know you shouldn't think about it like that, but like, I can't do this every day for the rest of my life. Just sit here and play Unpacking by myself. That can't be it. So it's a 10. But like, I can survive like this for another 5, 10 years or whatever. I'm fine. I've been doing this before. I like playing video games. It's fine. But it can't be forever like this. Am I incapable? That's what I like. I don't know. Is it impossible for someone that I like to like me? That's still an unanswered question for me. I know, like, if you're watching, you're like, obviously, of course, anybody can be loved or whatever. But when you're in my position where nobody's ever liked me before, it doesn't seem like easy to answer. It doesn't. It really doesn't. 2 plus what equals koala? I have one of these whiteboards on my fridge where I write my, this is what I need for dinner. I definitely don't have the boyfriend picture still, right? No. How many rooms do I have to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a nice apartment. You have a bedroom and a study room and a living room and a kitchen and a bathroom. 5 rooms. This is supposed to be like the rundown apartment, but I guess like it's nice because I want to unpack more rooms. Like I don't want it to just be a 1-room studio. That would be boring for a game. But then also they're like, this is the rundown part of your life. And I'm like, this is a nice apartment. This isn't rundown. Look at this. This is a nice stove. She doesn't have a washing machine. I have a washing machine. Ooh, Mr. Rockefeller. Okay. I just want to meet someone I can connect with. I just want to know it's possible. So I spend $1,000. Okay. Let's talk about that. So the Besties podcast, they did another episode today where she interviewed another person from the Patreon. She wants to do a Patreon person every month. So I was the one last month, and she did another person this month. And they mentioned me a couple times, like things that I had said. And that's happened a couple times. It's never really happened before. It's an interesting experience for someone to say, like, oh, Anthony said this thing. I'm like, I did? I said something? I never say anything. It's interesting to hear that, because I never... And they're always nice. They're always positive about it. They're like, she said this thing, and it was cool. I was like, I did. I said something cool. Get out of town. Yeah, it's just weird because I've never had that experience before, because I never say anything. So it's nice for someone to be like, hey, I heard what you said, and it was cool. Sometimes it's less so recently, but definitely in the past, I would think, like, even when I talk, like, people aren't hearing what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, it's a little hard to describe that feeling of like even talking to somebody and they're responding to you, it just doesn't seem like I'm talking. I don't know exactly how to describe it. But then when you listen back to a podcast and like Anthony said this thing and it was cool, I was like, oh, what? Anthony, that's me. Wait a minute. That can't be right. But that's cool. And it's a tiny note that I liked. Made me happy. Oh, on the date, I did, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did, and actually today at lunch with the guy, I did do a good job of the thing I wanted to work on, which was enthusiastically, like, agreeing with something. And if they mention something that I know, like, don't just let it go. Just be like, yeah, oh, that thing, that's cool. I like that thing. Did I give an example? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, she mentioned Jurassic Park 3. Yeah. So usually, what would happen, for some reason we were talking about Jurassic Park, a movie came out, whatever. And she mentioned, like, oh, like, I just watched Jurassic Park 3, like, recently for some reason. And that's kind of an obscure, I mean, it's not super obscure, but it's kind of an obscure movie. And usually I would just let it go and just be like, I'm not going to mention, like, wow, like, if I saw Jurassic Park 3, who cares? I'm not going to say anything. I guess it's Hanukkah time. You gotta put it in the window, right? But I was like, she mentioned it and she talked about it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I remember Jurassic Park 3. It's terrible. I remember there's like a great scene in it where, and I told her this, where the main guy is on an airplane, and like you don't know it's a dream, but it turns out to be a dream because the guy next to him turns into a dinosaur and he starts talking to him and he's like, Dr. Grant, and it's like a dinosaur talking to him. It's like, so, and it's funny. And I was like, I told her that, and that was good. That's what I want to do. That's what I need to do, to show them that, like, hey, like, I like Jurassic Park 3. It's funny. Like, let's talk about it. And not just let it go because, like, oh, Jurassic Park 3, what am I going to say about this stupid movie? So I did that. And today I did it with some video game stuff. What did he mention? Oh, Rocket League. Yeah. I think I kind of enthusiastically agreed when he's like, hey, like, is any games, like, multiplayer games? And he was like, I like Rocket League. I'm like, oh, yeah, I like Rocket League. I didn't do a great job with that, but I did say it. And I wouldn't have said it before. I would have just probably said, like, oh, Rocket League, yeah, I kind of heard of that. It was a good game. But I was like, yeah, Rocket League's fun. Rocket League's great. It's the best. I didn't say this to him, but this is my opinion of Rocket League. It is the best game. It's the best esport game that I've ever played. Like a game that actually feels like a sport and not just like Madden, which is like a game that is a sport. Is trying to replicate an actual sport. But Rocket League is the only time I've ever played a game where it felt like it was specifically designed as a video game to be a sport and not just like copying baseball or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the best game I've ever played like that. And I'll play it with him. I have to. I'm gonna try to figure out how to get it on my Xbox. And I think you can. He has a PS5, and I'm gonna be like, let's do it. I think you can do that, or you can do the cross-platform thing. I'll be like, let's do it. Let's Rocket League it up, bro. I hate saying bro. It's so stupid. Okay. Was that it? Oh, yeah. I did a good job enthusiastically agreeing. Somebody emailed me. I won't talk about it like it's private email, but like I should mention that. Like it's kind of cool. I'll talk about that tomorrow maybe. And Wuthering Heights, maybe. 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 Okay, see you tomorrow. We're doing good, doing good. And no tornadoes yet, but I'll let you know if we get a tornado.